Friends, namaste. Let's continue the sixth video. That's about, like I explained, right? 5 videos. How did I get this H-1B offer? And then the next video, like I explained, I got H-1B offer, $55,000 when I was working in Mindtree, India, Hyderabad. And then I resigned, and then they said economy down, stay there. And later Lavan and I came, and then went to guest house. I shared that F1 student experience at the Indian grocery store. Rajesh story, the recent one. And this video about the Boston in-person interview. Imagine, I don't know how people in India understand, because there we have a lot of public transportation, like buses, trains, and auto, three-wheeler or cabs, now Uber these days. But in USA it's not like that. USA doesn't encourage public transport because the automobile industry across the US, and to promote that, the automobile industry encourages everyone to have a car, so they don't want public to use public transportation. So that's the explanation for people in India. So then what happened, this 3A Infotech Krishna Nellutla start forwarding my resumes. I told you, right, I confronted, and I don't want is a fake resume to submit, and then I confronted and I started submitting my India resume. Then I forgot to tell this point. Indian vendors recognized I have 10 years experience in India. So whoever has background in India as experience, these vendors, I told you, right, when a prostitute travel from my hometown Kakinada, Peddapuram to Mumbai, like in one village to one Mumbai red light area, a prostitute is traveling in bus, train or aeroplane. A man sitting next to her will do this, like come to my agency, I will take you there. So that person is called vendor here. So then Krishna forwarded to one vendor. His name is Heram Raj, Soft Labs NA. It's located in 27 Stony Hill Road, Shrewsbury, Massachusetts. Okay, then when did he forward? He started forwarding to several people. Indians have BDMs and recruiters. They have a lot of Indian contacts, right? They have a database. And Krishna told, you write, maintain Excel sheet. Initially I maintained, later I could not, because submitted to vendor A, vendor B, vendor C, vendor E, F, G, H, like that one series, and client, for example, Microsoft, then client Google, another 6-7 vendors. So it's increasing the sheet, and focusing is difficult. So then date I forgot. Okay, October 31st, 2008. Okay, then I got selected for in-person interview. Asked me to come for telephone. Some they take, some they don't take telephone. So I told him, Raj, thanks, I will be there. I'm exploring the options of reaching Boston either Saturday or Sunday. If you have a car, you will just start and attend the interview. But since I don't have a car, August 28th, 2008. So that day interview was scheduled, and client is MBTA, Massachusetts Boston Transport Authority. So then there is an American prime vendor. meeting with Atlantic Associate INC. And the next is Soft Labs India. Next is 3A. I've prepared. I've done a lot of exercise. I don't know how to go all right. I explored from guest house to, I took my blazer and stuff, and I left guest house. From there to Metuchen by walk. From there Metuchen took a train to New York. From New York again I walked to the bus stand or bus station. From again Boston I took a bus. Again Boston, from bus station I took a train. I met some Balaji, Balaji I don't know. He claims he is the CEO. He digged me. He want to find out whether my resume is real or fake. So all that. Then I went to American Prime Vendor recruiter by cab. Then again I come back. Then Raj told to stay in their guest house, like 3A. They have a guest house in Boston. There I met, I forgot his name. He still sent the job requirements. Anubhav Batra, I think he's a North Indian guy. So I just slept on the floor in the guest house because already people full with hundreds of H-1Bs. I don't have place, but I sat with him. He was a exchange, a subject matter expertise, and then I talked to him and he explained. So then we need the requirement is we need a strong Microsoft certified systems engineer in Boston. Potentially 12 months contract with possible extension. Client is migrating from Novel to Microsoft. Yeah, this is where my expertise is. I did Novel Network 3 and 4. I worked in India. Road transport also in India I worked, right? Novel networking, NIMS also I did a project. I don't know whether people understand my things or not. So when Microsoft was not there, I worked in Novel Network. So then Microsoft also there, Microsoft I worked, and then migration I did. So that kind of expertise the client is looking with migration superior Active Directory and Exchanger skills. Like I told you, right, I have passed the MCSC and CNE in the first in Twin Cities in Hyderabad. So the client is entering the Boston 1 week Tuesday. So we will be sending our top 3. Like I said, right, American Prime Vendors have 3 recruiters. Those 3 recruiters will select 12 resumes, 48 resumes. They will give it to their boss. Then out of 48, he will choose 4 or 5 resumes and he will give it to or at least a 6 to the client. Client will call 3 people for in-person interview and he will choose 1 or 2 standby in case one skips 2. So like that, these thousands of resumes will be filtered out. So out of this type of submission of thousands of resumes, I still got picked up, right? So then I went for in-person interview. A lot of skill set is there. I will put that screenshot. So Active Directory and all that. So he's a good guy. Raj is a recruiter. I don't know them, but they also maintain like a 3A. So Benjamin is one American Prime Vendor. I think he arranged a call with them. So interview September 2nd, 2008, 10 a.m. I attended interview with Charlie Smith. Is a manager end user computing in Joe's Tavares, assistant manager end user computing, and Tim Cable, sorry, may I sit with you in the interview. It's a panel. Americans did the interview. It's at the 10th Park Plaza Transport Building, Boston, Massachusetts. So once the recruiters will send so many instructions. They think that you are fresh from India. You don't know about America, how to attend interview, how to wear tie, how to wear blazer, how to eat food, everything. They will give. It's good. Initially we don't know. We get all that information. And you will have to check the security, photo ID. So that's where you need a driving license. So I used to carry Indian passport until I get a driver license, right? So I don't have a driving license. So I used to carry Indian passport because security check is there, government client. So that's what. And so after that, after I come back, so I spent a lot of money for I don't have money, man. First of all, they didn't give, right? So I took a cab. I spent all that. I gave a expenses report to 3 Infotech. I didn't know whether they paid or not. So generally they don't pay. So you have to follow up. You have to beg them. So I gave them, because he promised Krishna that he will pay. So $217.80 I spent. I traveled to Boston, and at the end the client said, when will you join? Whenever, not only in America, man, in India also, whenever somebody asks me in interviews, when will you join, I'll say immediately, I'll start now. So why should I look for some good date, good time? Why should I give a chance to them, right? So if they ask any questions, I would say, when do you want me to start the project? So that kind of questions I ask. And recruiters, Indian recruiters tell, don't say no. Even American recruiters also, when client asks something. But I don't listen to them, because if they say Java, do you know Java? If you say yes, tomorrow if you selected, fortunately or unfortunately, you have to work in Java, right? How can you tell yes? But their intention is to say, yes, given the chance, I will learn and do it. That doesn't work out. It's if not this job, another job, right? So that is what happened. And he put all what happened when Krishna gave a resume. He put some, each vendor will put their logo, years of labs, and they put their logo, and then they write my certifications. And they asked me I wrote a client names, like for example, Mindtree, Redmond, Washington client. So like that, client names we wrote, and then we submitted the resume. Just give me a minute, I'm just checking. Okay, so like that, we gave the resume, and that's what happened. And client told I got, they don't tell on the spot, except very few times I got that chance. They don't tell on the spot, you got selected to come and join. They will tell always, we will give the feedback. We are taking the interviews for other candidates. We will give the feedback to the prime vendor or vendor or your vendor. They don't tell the employer name also. They don't know that there are multiple layers after the prime vendor. So they will only know what is this guy. Soft Labs and also they don't know. They know only American prime vendor, Atlantic Associate INC only they know. They think that I'm their employee. They may know or may not know, but it doesn't matter. Like who comes to paint your house? It doesn't matter, right? You pay money to the broker. Broker will send one labor to your house. So you don't care whether the labor is full-time to that vendor or not, right? It is subcontractor. It doesn't matter to you whether your house is painted or not, your toilet is cleaned or not. That's what you will see at the end of the day, right? If it's not clean toilet well, then you will shout at the vendor or the worker also sometimes. So then that's what happened. And they said they will, but I don't know, because the company policy as per 3A, they don't reveal purchase order and MSA to me. They never showed. So there's a policy. But see, I get a customer, I bargain on the billing rate, but they don't show the billing rate. Even if you insist, they will show a fake purchase order, like that they didn't do. But even if you ask also, they will show a fake purchase order. Like for example, you bargain for a billing $100 an hour, so they will tell only 50 is paying, 50 they will show. So you can't again ask the prime vendor, right? Show me the proof my employer is not giving. Like that it happens, but so that is what. So they don't show. So that is where you don't know whether. But client expressed his interest that he is selecting you, because they don't go for personal details until you clear the technical round. Personal details means in India we ask personal details, but in America private they don't ask. I mean, where are you living, when how do you how many children you have, like where do you live, what are they doing, how can you commute to work. So these work related only they will ask. So that they ask, and I was expecting that project, but I don't know what happened. I don't know whether 3A and Soft Labs NA have no good relation, or Soft Labs NA Atlantic, I don't know, or their billings or like that. So, and 3A might be expecting $85 to $100 an hour. Still it is 2008. So that's what. And next project, Kaiser Permanente, I went in person to the Maryland. It is also very tough. The same way I took a Metuchen. I walked up to Metuchen to Metuchen railway station. From there to another place, New York, I think somewhere Greyhounds, Maryland bus I took from New Jersey, and then Maryland I landed, and then I went to hotel I stayed, and then attended the interview next day morning. So I saw a Muslim person came by car hiring a driver. I requested him, can you drop me in New Jersey? He said yes, but before interview, after interview he said no. But so we entered both names same time in the reception, and Abnan Hafiz, the hiring manager, came and asked who came first. Then I said reception person in the reception, that lady told both of them came same time. Then I said let him take interview first. Then Pakistani American is what I sense. He's the other candidate is Indian Muslim, but still I got selected in the interview. Technosource, and there are another layer, I think. Let me see. Again Krishna submitted T-Infotech to Technosource, Jeff Anderson, and then there is Info Expert. No, sorry, I told wrong. My resume Krishna submitted to another subsidiary of ICICI Bank, E-Power, 3 Infotech, another partner. That lady forwarded to Info Expert Raj, Info Experts NC, that is in Texas, and then that guy to one guy in the California. So that's many layers. So the company itself insert one more layer, because if you select they can eat money, right? So like that I got selected. That also I went for in person. Then again I struggled because nobody give a ride here. Just first of all they don't entertain, man. It's not India, right? Like put a hand like this, somebody stop and give a ride. That's not possible. They don't trust anybody. Nobody trusts anybody here. If you trust, you are fucked up. Like, you don't know whether that guy is a thief or drug addict or has a gun. So that's what happened, and finally from there to guest house I came by hook or crook. It's very tough, and then I got selected, and then background check went to India, and this guy, what is this name? Krishna didn't answer the phone 3 times. They received third time. Meanwhile, Technosource sent an email, your employer is not answering your background check. So this kind of stuff I did, and then after that finally I hit a project. So again I carried, and they sent an email, you take out all your stuff. So I vacated the guest house. I took all my stuff, and then the middle vendor Raj is a Raj Info, not Soft Labs in it, is Info Expert USA Raj. He wrote an email. We got email from Jeff from Technisource, who is marketing in charge of Kaiser account. Raj, we received a call that Kumar customer facing skills are not at the level of original. We don't know whether that guy is selling. Hence client is reorganizing to take him out of the customer facing role to the background. So hence now I recollect. So now Raj wants, the middle vendor wants to reduce $15. He called me and said, do you have any other project? So he reduced. He's saying I don't know how the prime vendor get hiring manager told we don't want him to face customer support. We want him to put in the technical background, but customer facing different billing, this billing different. So you are working on technical side, background. So you want you to reduce $15 an hour. I don't know whether they play games or so that's how they reduce billings, man. I don't know whether really, if client doesn't like my English, he will fire, right? If he doesn't understand my communication skill, he will fire. But this is what middle vendors play tricks. And then Raj said, I think Krishna removed that middle layer because they insert one more layer, right? So this is what happened. So it takes time it is all shocking in between. You get a project, but suddenly, so it's really difficult for me to digest, and it's a mental trauma. This is okay. Then what happened? It's a 2.5 months, first in, last out, and same time 1,400 contractors asked to go, 2,000 full-time employees asked to go, and then 2,000 they left and 1,400 left, right? Meanwhile, Abnan office called me to his office and he cried almost. So Kumar, last in, first out, so you joined late, so I'm asking you to leave first. I'm giving 1 week notice. Most of them you have seen there is no notice because it's a recession, right? So I was crying, and then one guy came and said, don't cry, download your resume, stop working and start submit. If I were in your place, I will call my wife and start packing and will drive the car to the next project location. That's how Indian workers or cheap labor, we call, whatever you call H-1B, that's how they live here. So then the day one also I stayed late. Then one Indian senior person came to me and said, Silver Spring is a bad area, don't stay after 5. So then the manager also told, if you stay, if you call cop will come and arrest me, so don't stay after 5 p.m, just leave. So I thought of stay on the day one and understand the environment, read the documentation and all, but that's not. It's configuring the IPs and managing the Mid-Atlantic Windows servers and network equipment. And then I run to the bus stop. It was very cold, deadly cold, and I was running almost. Bus stop also, it looks scary, dark and cold, and then finally I reached the room. So one of my friends told, anybody stopped at gunpoint, give them everything, including your client laptop. You can buy it later, right? If they ask, underwear also give it, so don't resist. If you resist, they will shoot on the spot. For $1 people kill here. So I was scared to know all this stuff one by one, and then I was living in the basement. First 1 week I stayed in hotel. So for that to move, employer gave a $2,000 loan from the salary. Because how do I survive in Maryland, right, until get first salary? So that's how. And Kavita, she told there is a room in our house upstairs, but when I went there, that Gujarati guy showed the basement, $750 month rent. He took the cash because employer gave, right? So then I gave them. So that's how the 2,000 just washed out, rent and cab. So there I like beer, I said, right? Corona beer, $5. I don't know, I don't have car, so I didn't visit the stores, right? I cannot drive also, only office to home. Is Gujarati's wife Jane, she drives the car, and when they for anything $5, man. That's what Gujarati people are. I like something in the refrigerator, $5. You eat food, anything, fruit, $5, something like that. Everything he fixed the rate. So I thought of cook food and eat. Then they said, it's like they're sharing the house. Some time for me and for his wife, kitchen, have to clean separately, how to cook food and put it in the refrigerator, take it in the box to the work, because I can't buy, right? I don't have car. So then one day one guy told his wife was getting down with their little son. 3 people came and stopped her, and it's like, I don't know the word. They put a cigarette on her hand and they want money, $200 something. and the cop car is there in front of their apartments. He is also living, it seems, but they cannot call because they were. That's how they torture. And he was crying at office, telling this story. He wants to go back to India. We don't know whether he left or not. So these are the scary stories, and a recession, a lot of people losing jobs, people are crying, and then many people are there in the diversity like Sri Lanka, Pakistan, Bangladesh, India. Several people are there. Only Kavita's job is still there. Because in the recession most of the jobs are out. She's a student, and she showed a photograph. She fell in love with a BTech guy while studying BTech in India. She showed the photo, and but marriage she showed a different wedding code name. And we are good. We both paid some money and celebrated that Gujarati guy's birthday or anniversary. We gave them small gift. And then after 1 week I told him I cannot stay in the basement. He cut the money and returned $500. Then I moved to Pub.L's house, and she's an employee there. So she also told a lie. She will pick and drop by car or a BMW car. But once I moved to her house, then she told, I have a work from home option, you go. Then it was literally hell, man. I walk in the cold with a black shoe. You have to, some clients, they have dress code formals, so you have to wear a black shoe, trousers, business casuals, and then black shoe. You cannot walk on the ice. Was standing in the bus stop, and then the bus driver told, instead of standing there, can't you get a change? It's only $1 coin you have to put. $1 coin or $1. Somebody help me, and I didn't know that $1 decimals also, right? Those things, coins. Then went to the work. So that's how. And finally, I vacated our apartment. And then I left for guest house again, because where do I stay? So this is about Boston in-person interview, Maryland in-person interview, and job in the Maryland. First project, so first billing project. So in my project recession, accounts guy called, we will recover all your salaries, because they gave $2,000 loan, right, for staying there. And 45 days cycle I'll get a salary. So that's how consultancies pay, because the vendor has to pay, right? So but they tell lie to USCIS that they will pay salaries. They don't pay until the vendors pay. If middle vendors run away with money, because the middle vendors also inserted by the prime vendors or by the employers, so sometimes they run away wantedly to cheat the end user, that is the subcontractor or the employee, H-1B, F1, whoever it is. So that is what happened between the 2008 July to I think it is March 27th 2009. I lost my last working day in that project. So it was very good project experience. In between, TCS employees also laid off. He asked me to take his apartment. He took me there. I don't understand what's going on. How can I take apartment? I don't have money. I don't have family. And how can I sign lease? He was crying because he's a Bengali guy, I think. He signed a lease, so he wanted to give a sublease. So anyway, just I went by his car and saw. He dropped me back at the office. Oh my God, it was very terrible. And guest house till March, and I was decided go back to India this time, because I don't have money is melting, health become down, stressful. And then I think guest house also they are not allowed. Once only coming from India, freshers like virgins, they let them stay in the guest house. If you are not a virgin, means you already went on-site project, means get out. But this time somehow maybe you have to literally beg, please something. Then I stayed here. Thank you, friends. Almost 28 minutes I explained from October 2008 to March 2009. See you again in the next video.
Hi everyone. This video is for life in Silver Spring, Maryland. From 2009 I started working at Kaiser Permanente, Silver Spring, Maryland. To be honest with you, I have come across only one Pakistan American hiring manager. Rest of the locations, either Indian hiring managers crooked or corrupted. Or maybe one or two might be genuine, or two honest. Honest, good guys I come across Indians. Rest of 6 people are highly corrupted and crooked. And I was surprised because we always hate, right, Pakistan and India at the borders, but here my neighbor upstairs who is living is from Pakistan parents. They are very helpful and he helped me a lot. But whereas when I go to knock at the doors of Indian neighbors, they didn't help. I'm not criticizing when somebody wrote a hate comment, but it's okay. That's how, genuinely I went to Washington DC in 2009. So during that time, these are the pictures. I lived with one Gujarati family, shared accommodation basement, $750. 1 week hardly I couldn't stay because no heat, it's cold and rats are going. So then I moved to Pub.L, an American house, and this is a DC visit before I think President Obama takes care of taking the oath ceremony. I think that day or before, I'm not sure, I don't remember. These are the good Indian couple. She's Jain and he's Gujarati, and married her and waited for 2 years in India, get a green card, and then he came here. They're very nice people. Give a ride for car to work because I don't have car at that time, but they charge money because it's not free. Anything is not free in America, right? She's Kavita, a Java programmer in Kaiser Permanente. During recession, everybody got laid off and except this young girl. She did MS and then she has been working there from 2009 because of her Java and programming core strengths for the project. So that's the reason she didn't fire rest of them. All 25 members, or whoever, 1800 contractors and 2000 full-time employees lost their jobs in Kaiser Permanente, Silver Spring, Maryland. Later Kaiser in California I got a job, but must take H-1B transfer. So I'm not sure of transfer's knowledge at that time, and I didn't go. This is the life in Maryland video. Thank you.
ఇండియా వచ్చేసాం.
మళ్ళీ చెప్పండి, అమెరికా ఎందుకు వచ్చారు?
నీకు నాకు స్టఫ్ లేదు మాస్టర్, మనకి ఎవరు ఇండియా జాబ్ ఇవ్వట్లేదు. సో హెచ్ఆర్ అప్లై చేసుకుని ఇక్కడ వచ్చాము. మనకి ఇండియాలో టీసీఎస్ ఇప్పుడు పెద్ద కంపెనీ జాబ్ ఇచ్చి ఉంటాం, ఇండియాలో ఉంటాము, అంతే కదా?
Yes, correct.
We don't have stuff, so we applied to America. That's it, as simple as that. It's not as if like we had big stuff. అమెరికాలో నువ్వు జాబ్ ఇస్తా అని చెప్పి మనకి ఎవరు ఇవ్వలేదు. ఎక్స్చేంజ్ చేసుకుని వచ్చాము. We never had stuff. That's reality. You have to accept it.
Finally feel like giving up, oh God, no luck. Everything feels like you're sticky stuck. I'm lost, handcuffed to the bed where I sleep, don't give a fuck. Can't stop, unplug, feeling overwhelmed, I think I've had enough. Gotta find a way to get some energy, gotta find someone who's a good friend of me. I need purpose to make it all worth it, I'm still searching and I'm still learning. I want a life that's filled with memories, not a life with regret and frenemies. I need focus to keep me from hopeless psychosis if I keep moping. I got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear, that my mind fills up into a creature and it haunts me somewhere much deeper. I got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear, that my mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper. I've been feeling weird, I can't seem to focus good enough. Nothing's really clear, sometimes it could be a little tough. I just need to feel like the end's in sight for me, but let's be really real, anxiety can foggy all this stuff. I've been